knew that thing was going to stick there. What is up, everybody? We are back live on a Thursday night. Todd's back in the house. Welcome back, Todd.
Good to be back. Appreciate it.
After he had a week off there. I can't work the man all the time, folks. I got to give him some time off. That's what they told me at the labor board. You can't work your employees into the ground. So we are back having a great time, hopefully here on a Thursday night, which means we are one day closer to the weekend, which is what we all love and tend to look forward to, I believe. So we'll crack a few beers open and talk about what we talk about. And thanks for everybody last week that participated. Maybe we'll have a few people that might want to pop up tonight. We'll see how it goes. But had Dave last week and Jean-Pierre and Mal was on. So
looks like a good show. Wish I'd have been on there.
Yeah, we had a couple. There was other people that I reached out to that couldn't make it. So maybe they'll swing through, but it was great having some other people share their perspectives from their beer channels as well and their podcast. So it was definitely an awesome time for sure. Vanessa's in the house. Shout out to Vanessa. Mark's in the house. Shout out to Mark. Great to have you. Hopefully you guys are having a great evening as well. And I told Todd earlier this week, wasn't sure if I was going to do this or not because watching the West Virginia game, and the West Virginia game, I didn't know how that was going to go. It's been a pretty disappointing season, so I'm like, you know what? I feel like I put enough of my life into them for this year right now. So
Enough's enough.
I'll put it on in the background, and we're going to go live and just see what happens there. So going to crack open, like I said, a couple beers, and I don't know, Todd, what are you doing there? Like watching Shannon?
She's going to make her something to eat, so she's.
What's she making?
Right.
Tell her to come say hi to the people. Come say hi to the people.
Try to be quiet. I'm loud.
Yeah, she don't know how to be quiet.
Yeah, so we know that. We know that's the case. We're glad she gives it a try, though.
Yeah, gives it her best effort.
Hopefully, she's making something good over there, though.
What's that?
Hopefully she's making something good.
Probably cream of wheat. Yeah, cream of wheat.
Cream of wheat for a snack?
That's her nightly supper when she's working, it seems, here lately.
I didn't even know they still made cream of wheat.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they do.
I mean, I used to eat it as a kid. I like cream of wheat over oatmeal. What were you like? Did you like cream of wheat or oatmeal better?
Cream of wheat or oatmeal better?
They're just too different. I can't. One's sweet and one's not.
So if you had to choose, gun to your head, what are you going to choose? Just choose.
Gun to my head, I have to choose cream of wheat.
There you go. I haven't had that since I don't even know how old I was last time I had that. But
little kid.
yeah, I was probably a little kid. Yeah, because
elementary school.
As I got older, then I started eating oatmeal and stuff. So. But not like the old people oatmeal all the time. I'd have like the strawberry and cream or fruit berry type.
I know hers
stuff.
is just 5 minute out of the box. Wheat.
Am I eating the old people cream of wheat?
I'd say that's the old people cream of wheat, isn't it?
So what beer you got there?
So I grabbed one I've been sitting on for quite a while. Didn't realize it's been that long, but I put it in the fridge about a month or so ago. Mm-hmm. This is Wicked Weed Dark Age Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout.
Ooh!
And this is actually
put it back up there again.
Oh,
oops,
sorry.
Wait a minute. I did the wrong thing. There we go. There you go. Yeah, that's nice looking.
Had an easy drinking 12%.
I like the artwork and the writing on that bottle. That is actually pretty decent on the label there.
So I actually picked these up at the brewery when we were in Asheville. Not Asheville, but it was in Asheville, but we were staying in Bryson City, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one actually says 9/29/17. So 2017 vintage.
Oh, wow. And what's the ABV on that one?
12%.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And I had a bunch of them that I had downstairs in the basement on top of my beer fridge. And I was going through some of them, and I was like, I guess I better ought to start drinking some of these.
Starting out with a session ale. I like it.
Yeah. That's what I said. I like easy drinking. I got some Bourbon Counties from 2015, I think, still when they were in the 12-ounce bottles.
I see it. Oh wow, the 12-ounce bottle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is some older
Maybe
years.
maybe it's 2014 even, but I need to drink those too because that's getting.
Yeah.
They'll get, you know. I know you can keep it for a while, but I don't know about that long.
One thing we talked about last week, to make a note, I'm thinking next year is going to be the year I decide to go to Great American Beer Fest.
Oh, okay.
So I just try to see if we get some people that might want to go down there. It's in October. They just had the past weekend. So it's like, October, second week of October almost. So it was the same time.
Is that in Denver?
Yeah, it's in Denver. It's always in Denver. So
what's it usually, like a week long or something? Or
I think it's usually like 3 or 4 days. I think it might go from Thursday and then people come back on Sunday. I mean, you can come in on any of the days, but I think it goes maybe Thursday night through Sunday or something.
That would be a great time.
Yeah, so trying to get that off the bucket list.
As like all the other beer fests, you just pay by the day and
you do by the day, or you can do a package. I think for all the days.
Okay.
This is like the premier big shot of the beer fest in the country. So just have to get there at some point and figure what's stopping. Just me,
right?
So. And I haven't been to Denver either, so I think Denver would be kind of cool to also check out.
Yeah, I don't
I've heard a lot of good
ever
things.
been to Colorado, period, honestly, if I think about it.
I haven't either. I haven't been to any part of Colorado.
So, yeah, that definitely would be, could maybe work that out for sure.
Yeah, that would be a blast to get out.
That would be fun. So what are you drinking?
Checking out some things. So I'm deciding which one I'm going to actually start off with tonight. So tonight is going to definitely be a stout night for me as well. Surprise, surprise. I've been like that for a while now. And I did drink the other half IPA last week, I think. One of those.
Well, it is getting cool now. What's the temperature there right now?
Right now, today it was actually just under 70. So, but it's starting to cool. It's going on and off. The last couple of days, we had like a little bit of a heat wave.
Yeah, same here. Yesterday, I think it was 80.
But I think we got the rain that you guys had a couple of days ago. We have right now.
Yeah, and then yesterday, this morning was like, when I went to work, it's like 62 degrees. But by the time I got off work, it was probably colder than that. Actually, it was you know, it's getting chilly. So I know I can drink stouts anytime, but it always seems to be more in the colder.
Yeah.
Way. I know we talked about that, and it doesn't bother me to drink.
It don't bother me at all. Yeah, you know that. I drink them all year round. I'm like, stout season. That's like every day.
You're right.
What are you talking about?
But a stout in the colder weather.
Yeah.
That's it, just a little bit more right. You know what I mean? Like.
And I still haven't picked up really any pumpkin beers. So I still haven't done any of those yet. So, but I'm going to crack open the Nitro Thick Mint here.
Oh, nice.
The Southern Tier that I picked up, and check this one out, which I've checked out before because I got the deal where they had like 4 packs for like $4.99. It was some weird thing. It was like way under. It was like $6.99 or $5.99 or something.
You got 4 packs of those or something.
Yeah. They still had a few more out there. There was only one I didn't get because I couldn't figure out what the date was. They didn't have the date on the wrapper. This one they had out to 2023 or whatever. The other one was good. So, but it is the nitro version. So of course you do the pour hard.
That'd be about time to come out with another one of those, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. This is when they do it. Again, it's when it's deeper into the year they come out with these. But this is the thick mint, and the night. I like the hot cocoa. That's actually a pretty decent one too.
Those are both. Yeah, they're both really good.
Yeah. But there you go, and you get the pour. Not as probably good as Guinness there on the Cascading, but they do a little something with it, you know.
Yeah.
But very smooth.
I saw was it Left Hand that came out with their peanut butter, but I think it was a nitro now.
Left Hand has a peanut butter nitro.
Is it? It is a peanut. Okay.
Yeah, they have.
I don't remember, but they had just a regular peanut butter. But is the nitro one? Is that a new one that they did?
They've done it before. They've done nitro before.
Done
yeah, I've got like a mixed pack where it was. I think peanut butter was in it, but it was also like the flamingo And
Man.
then their Galactic IPA and something else. They were all nitros.
I think I've had the regular peanut butter, but I don't know that I've had it on nitro. Maybe it was a nitro when I just didn't realize it.
I mean, you probably have it with or without the nitro.
That's
but
because I'm thinking I had it without the nitro, and I saw that because I think the regular nitro or the regular peanut butter might just have a black label, and I think the nitro one's like an orange color or something, isn't it?
Yeah. And the left hand was pretty damn decent. So they actually, the peanut butter one they had, it wasn't like as artificial as some of the other ones. So it was a pretty decent one they put together. We got JT in the house. Cheers, JT. What is going on? And Vanessa's back and saying hi to everyone as well. So welcome back, Vanessa. Speaking of JT's there in Chicago, and I guess that's where the game is tonight with the Commanders versus the Bears.
Yeah.
And I guess they got trying to force Dan Snyder out. And apparently there was a report that came out earlier today where it was some investigative thing where these owners got dirt on Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder has dirt on the other owners or something.
Oh, yeah.
To try and not have him squeezed out or whatever. So it's going to be kind of interesting. But the next owner vote is on Tuesday of next week. And if at least 24 of them vote him out, I mean, it could be kind of crazy what happens from there. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if they'll vote him out though. It's
how does that work actually? Because how do you vote an owner from?
I mean, because it's the way that
sell the team then, or is he just
to sell the team, and it's the way the leagues are set up. Because you're basically at some point kind of like a part of a civic thing to the community.
Well,
it's kind of like the Phoenix Suns owner they forced him to basically step down, for the common stuff that he did. So they can do it with football as well, but it takes at least 24 to 32 to actually do that. So
if all that shit comes out, I'm sure they won't have no trouble getting that.
Yeah. Well, I just think when they did all the investigation, all the emails, they had all the stuff on Snyder, but I'm they had dirt. Even when they forced Gruden out, they had other stuff on other people. So it was kind of they were selective on who may have gotten stuff out on. So we all know what Bob Kraft likes to do when he goes to Florida. I'm sure somebody has some stuff there on him, right? Somebody may have tugged a certain way and had some of his stuff.
Watson flesh.
Yeah. I'm thinking there's definitely some other culprits that could have their stuff exposed as well. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Goodell will have to probably work double time to try to keep the other owners covered if they do try to do something.
Tangled web we weave.
Bears went on 4th and goal and were denied. That sounds like the Bears.
This might be a worse Thursday night game than last week was.
Who was last week?
Colts and Broncos. Ended up in a 12-9. Colts won 12-9 in overtime. I mean, neither one of them.
In overtime. That's like freaking Iowa versus somebody nowadays. Touchdowns are optional.
They each blocked the kick, and Denver missed the field goal, and it was what in the world's going on here?
Yeah, JT Campbell was definitely some bad news there. I thought he's always had some stuff going on. So for the last few years, the whole thing from the name change, stuff like that happening, and some of the other scandals around Washington, around the team. So we shall see. I mean, I don't usually watch the NFL, but I catch the articles and the news pieces and found that pretty interesting. It was somebody's going to spill the beans on the rest of the league. Somebody's about to go housewives up in here.
Yes. Aired at Bravo.
You want to get it out? Let's get it all out. I bet Jerry Jones has stuff he doesn't want out.
They all probably do.
I'm about to open this. So I got another box here. This is actually the new glass I just put into the store. I haven't checked it out yet. I forgot I had it sitting here. So I think, I need to open this up and check it out.
So did they send that to you for your approval, or did you buy one and they send it?
Oh, no, I bought one there. So they do all this shipping and stuff for me, but I bought one. There are some companies where you can do stuff and pay a discount if you want to get a sample, but a lot of those you have to pay to get 50 or 100 type of things. I'm not storing stuff. I just have to drop ship people. But this is the new beer glass that I just put into the store as well. Oh, that came out decent enough. I'll pull it up here. Let me see. So it is the West Coast IPA glass. The West Coast sign there.
IPA. Nice. I like that.
Yeah, and then on the back side, you got the logo with the Rajay BeerVentures.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, so
Might have to get one of those.
yeah, so got that. I got a couple shirts too that were being sent to me. I was going to check those out. But one of the new things, I was laying here one night and trying to think of some type of thing I could actually put on something. And like, I got that hop. I could probably do something with the hop and just design the hand and put it together.
Did you get that logo on a shirt?
Yeah. I just put the logo in the store on the shirt as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Actually, I might rather get a shirt.
I was like,
So it's got like the IPA on the front and then like your logo on the back,
yeah.
or vice versa, whichever it may be.
Yeah, so I get it. You can get it in any color you want to get it in and stuff like that. So I got like one order for me, like in black and one in white, but it looks good on some of the other colors they have there too. So it was just something different that I thought like, I might be interested to do.
I'll have to look on there. I haven't looked on there in a while, so see what you got on there.
Yeah, and they got like the hoodie. I think I might have put a hoodie out there for that too. I know I got some hoodies out there for stuff as we're into the other weather, but always looking to try new things on the store design. And that's the newest thing right there.
That's a cool logo, though. I like that one.
Yeah. Thank you very much. As you see, the federal investigation, to name a few, right? And did you hear that waste of time and money? Yeah. But as far as this beer is actually pretty smooth and going down rather easily. How about yours on the 12% one there?
Yeah, it's not mellowed out as much as I thought it would. But I don't know if I feel like it might have fallen off pace-wise just a little bit. So it might have went just a little past time. But I don't know. It still should have been good, I think, after it's only been 5 years. I can't remember exactly. It's still pretty good, though. It's still pretty good. I just thought it would have been a little more mellow in the barrel. But I like it. I still like it. Either way, it's still good. I mean, I would drink it again for sure.
And then, I know you saw the thing that I posted there with Hershey, because a lot of people like the Yingling Hershey's Porter when it comes out. So that's now out. It came out early this year, so people can look to scoop that up if they want to. I don't think I've had it since the first year it came out, but I may have gotten it the next year.
I did either the second year it came out or the third year, but I definitely think it's changed since like the initial batch. To bring it back every year or whatever. Yeah,
I just wish it had a little bit more body in this. As Paul would say, a little thin. Actually, that's a little bit more than little with that one, but the taste and flavor is great on it. It's just I wish it had more of a body to it, a little bit more stronger.
I think I mixed that one last year with some Screwball whiskey.
Yeah. I've done like bourbon into it as well to give it a little bit of a kick, so that also helps. So
pretty good. With that Screwball whiskey in, it's pretty good, pretty tasty. Get a little bit of that
little peanut butter chocolate.
Yeah, a little Reese's cup action.
Nothing wrong with that. What are the beers I had last week? Oh, I had the so last week you weren't here. Oh no, I didn't do it on here. I did the review one. I finally did the Hot Butcher Bear one that Big Daddy sent. What was the Fat Bear?
Fat Bear, yeah.
Yeah, so that one was pretty decent. I finally did that one. But you know what I thought when I was drinking it? Like, I think you were thinking it was like Reese's when you had it and stuff. To me, it seemed more like Butterfinger.
Yeah, I could
probably. Felt like it had a little more of a Butterfinger element.
Probably it wasn't as creamy as you would think for the Reese's, I guess. Or the Butterfinger. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, that's probably even a better analogy for it.
But it was still damn tasty for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll have that review posted up here on the channel at some point as well. Mark's having a backwards bastard. Yeah. I used to drink that, but I don't drink Founders anymore. So when I did drink it.
I've got several backwoods bastards downstairs on my fridge that, years old that I need to get to.
Yeah.
What's up, Erie?
What's up, Erie? Cheers, my friend. Yeah, my inspections began in several federal investigations back in the day. Hey, Didi. What is Roger? He's back. Main man, unreplaceable Todd. Yeah, right? Four people to fill Todd's shoes, right? Yeah, he's an important part. Yeah.
That's right. Tough shoes to fill right there, I guess.
Had to mix up all the parts to get one Todd.
Actually, probably 4 people to fill her shoes, not mine.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it anyway. Appreciate it.
Drinking Trophy's Bad in 1000 New England IPA. Nice. Hey, Didi. Hey, to Erie. Cheers to Didi. Drinking on the Dab Son. Nice. Ron Sutton's in the house. Go tied at half.
What's up, Ron?
Yeah, no, they were down by 7 at half, so they just started the second half. I didn't see what they were doing. I got it on the background behind me, but I'm not expecting much. This season has just been not as great. But Ron Sutton, Mr. Hams, what is going on? Great to have you. It's been a while, so hopefully you're doing well, Ron. And it's funny, Gilbert's here, and I went to one of the beer stores here. And you remember, like, a couple years ago, all the Canadian guys were like, you got to get IPA number 5. Because they were all like, IPA number 5, IPA number 5. And they're all telling, I'm like, what the fuck is this number 5 thing? They're all like, well, you got to get, it's like, I actually have a place here now that has, like, that brewery. Of course, now it's like IPA number 22 or what. I guess I'm not going to name them. Yeah, but it's funny, like, I was like, you can't really go back to get IPA number 5 because it's an IPA and that was from years ago. You wouldn't want to do that anyway because wouldn't have held as well as you wanted it. But I'm like, oh man, if I'd have been here a few years ago, I'd have been able to get that IPA number 5.
I remember when everybody was putting those videos out for the number 5. I was thinking, and I happened to be in Chicago at that time. So at Benny's, that was one of them I picked up. I was like, oh, the number 5. I was like, I gotta get it. I was like, okay, that's good. But I was like, I didn't see all the, I was like, this is the best one they've done yet. I'm like, okay.
Well, of course, at that time, there was only 4 ahead of it, right?
So. Now it is like number 18 or something.
No, it was like 22 or something. I saw, so I didn't end up picking it up, but I'm like, oh, and I got a place I can get these IPA numbers.
I think we might get those here too now. Who does those?
I want to say it was, who do we have here? We have Untitled Art. It's another art they have up there.
Yeah, that's what I was
Collective Arts or something, I believe.
I was going to say Untitled Art too, but I knew that wasn't the right. I knew it was something else.
Yeah, that's like an American brewery, but they have the art one that they do for that one.
It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. That's probably the last one I had was the number 5 though, but.
See if I can see it on here.
At least I think we get them here anyway. Maybe I'm thinking of Jungle Gems. I've seen them there before. Some the hell I don't know.
Jungle Gems would actually be a place you would definitely probably see it there.
Yeah. So I was stopped at Sam's Club on my way home from work today, and they had their advent calendar, beers out. So I picked it.
Okay.
So it's 32 beers or 24 beers for I think it was $31.99 or $32.99.
How much?
It was all every single one is different.
Interesting.
So I was like, I've never seen it before. I've never seen them have it before. So I was like, I'll pick it up and try it.
And you liked it?
Well, I haven't tried any of it.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, I just got it today. So put it down in the fridge, and I was like, well, I'm pretty sure I'll start on this way before Christmas time. But it's pretty cool packaging because it's got spots where you can just poke your finger in and pop a can.
Yeah. Have you done an Advent beer calendar before?
I haven't. No.
I haven't either. I thought about, do I want to try to do one this year because I've never done one before.
Yeah, that's why I
kick out of them.
Because I was like, just to try it and see.
Yeah.
I should have kept it out or brought it upstairs with me and just to show you.
Yeah.
It was somebody out of I forget who the brewery was. Wasn't anybody I've heard of, but they were out of Wisconsin. Where it was canned at. I'm assuming they're the ones that brewed it too. But there's really no name on it. I'll have to go down and grab one here in a bit.
No name beer.
It just says Advent Calendar. Like there's no company or brewery name or anything on it. It's kind of odd.
Kind of interesting. Yeah, like a mixed thing.
They had they had all kinds of different porters and a couple IPA, all kinds of brown ales. It was all kinds of good mixes in it.
Yeah. Rod exited the house. Cheers, Rod.
What's up, Rod?
So the Rams are off to a little bit of a tough sled in the beginning of the season here.
Yeah,
I think they're 500 maybe, but
I think it is right.
I think you expect them to be leading the NFC West, but yeah. I guess the Niners have kind of reemerged in that division too, from what I've seen.
It always seems like whoever wins the Super Bowl always has a struggling year follow.
Not even winning. The Bengals are struggling too. With a little bit of a hangover. What up, EB? EB says y'all listening. Appreciate that, homie. Tomorrow night, tomorrow night, get that Overwatch going so we can play tomorrow.
So y'all probably gearing up for the new Call of Duty, aren't you?
Got a couple weeks for the new Call of Duty, but we're definitely ready for it to come out, and I've already got it ordered and set to pretty much download when it's available. So it's a Friday, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Might have to make a reappearance.
Yeah. Well, they've done some stuff on this one. They kind of give it a feel of going back where it's not as easy for a lot of the cheaters and the hackers to do stuff. People are complaining because they actually got to do work now in the game where it was kind of like a little easier to find people before. They've taken out some different things. So
I don't know why do games gear towards that for? They always gear towards those kinds of people. Like Madden do the same things for like cheater plays or whatever, where it's just computer can't stop it. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah, I mean, people always try to find a way to do stuff. I guess like I don't know. Let's even like back in the day when we started playing games, where if you messed up, you'd go all the way back to the beginning. So
right,
yeah. Ron said, "Good drinking High Life, really nice head and leg." Yeah, I like a nice High Life from time to time for sure, and. Surprised me, no hams in the hand. All right.
Oh, switching it up there.
The High Life, yeah. Actually, for Dave's Beer in Front, Old School Beer Awards, I already rated out for the High Life as well.
Man, I need
for some of the beer stuff that we do.
I need to fill that in some. I haven't done any there yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna they sent me another thing from Party. What is it? Not what's the name of the store? Total Wine.
Oh,
because I'm here now. They sent me another thing because I had joined. Like when I went there the one time, I went to be a member, so they sent me a thing like, come back to the store. You spend $10. Anything over $10, we give you $10 for free. Like you spend $10 on wine, it costs you 1 cent. I'm like, oh well, I need to pick up some beers anyway for this thing, so I can go get me some Slits or these other ones that'll be cheap, and that's $10 back in the pocket.
I've never yet received.
Well, when I go places,
I was going to say. Like, this is Roger. We got to say
I didn't use it the first time, and then I got like a $2 off of like anything I buy thing, and it's like, I guess they said, wait a minute, you didn't get them in there before. Send them the coupon again. We'll get Roger up in here. He must have been preoccupied, So yeah, they sent me that for a little deal. So I'll check out their stuff, and because for me to get some of the old school beers, that might be the best place to go anyway.
Oh yeah,
Slits and stuff like that, and old style if they have anything like that. And the ones I can't get, I'm not going to worry about. But yeah,
right. I don't go there too often, but there is one just half a mile from work. On the way, basically on the way home, I can stop in there, but I don't stop in there too often, just because you do have to watch what you buy there sometimes.
Yeah, I just posted the one review for the Allagash White because that was one of the beers to check out, and just share that out from when that posted. And Allagash actually thanked me for checking it out and giving them a nice review on Twitter. So that was nice of them to
that's cool.
do that. Yeah. So, I was like, solid. Keep up the good work. It's good beer. I like the Allagash White. I like whip beers, and they do a pretty good job. So he said, right, I'd be lying if I told you I was following college football, but the Wolverines are doing well. Ribbed Ohio State guy is CVS. They're winning because I'm not watching them play. Well, whatever it takes, right? You can't go watch them now. You'll be the bad luck. The one time you turn it on, they lose. It'll be your fault. So, yeah.
Hey, we gave Old Michigan a run for a half last week until the second half started, and then it was over.
Then it was over. Quick, get on the bus. We won't go on to play in the second half.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Michigan, it all comes down to them against Ohio State, really. That's the big thing. And Michigan State. So those are the two big things they have to try to win there for Harbaugh. But I still crack up when I see that video they shared, like when Michigan was playing Michigan State. Game was pretty much in hand, and the punt got blocked. And Michigan State ran it back a couple years ago, like 2-3 years ago when it happened.
You're right.
One, like in the last regulation ended or whatever, like on them blocking that. It was like crazy. That's the fun of rivalry type stuff too. Yes, collective arts. Yeah, collective arts is the one. Yeah. He said, "Hey Vanessa from EP, AEB, Bears turned away in the red zone tonight. I love Hayden on the Bears. Yeah." He said, "What up, Didi?" Oh, you did the Overwatch stuff. Nice. So you be ready to rock and roll. You know they got healers, so we need our medic. So
what is that?
Overwatch 2, it is another shooter game where you actually are, it's not like a Fortnite, but it's kind of a little cartoonish that way towards it, but it's a little bit more fun. And it's kind of like you're on a team and you got to fight another team. And then you're supposed to work together to try to be able to get the win and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's a new one from Activision. They had the old Overwatch. Now it's Overwatch 2 they came out with. It's free, so you just download it right to the
I was going to say, was that one of the free ones?
Yeah. Last week was a debacle. We talked about that on the gaming show last night. Like you couldn't get in when you downloaded it because the servers were all screwed up. But now they kind of fixed that, so it was pretty decent.
I haven't been on my PlayStation for 2 or 3 weeks, probably at least. I need to bring it upstairs for one because my TV downstairs is working. So,
yeah. Ron's he says he has 2 great Oktoberfest beers. Nice.
There you go.
Look at you branching out. Which ones do you have there? I've only done like 2 Oktoberfest beers this year. That's the other thing too. I feel like I've got so much beer, I don't want to buy any more beer.
So
I try not to go to the store, but then like a couple weeks ago we were in DC and I'm like, I have to go see the other half if I'm here and I got time.
Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't I, right? So
right.
And we got a couple breweries near us I need to get out there and check out as well. And I just haven't gone over because I'm like, I keep bringing back more beer. I don't get the other beer I actually have. And I got some really good beers to share with everybody to talk about. I haven't even got into like getting the Big Bad Baptist I've been having for the last few years. I got to start cracking those open. And I got like the bourbon counties and some other stuff.
That's one I wish we still got here.
Yeah, Epic. Yeah, I got some other stuff from Epic too, outside of the Big Bad Baptist. So.
I think it still shows that it distributes in Indiana, but I've not seen it for years. I used to be able to get the regular Big Bad Baptist, like the volume, whatever. They kept raising it every time they brought out a new batch of it or whatever. I used to get those all the time, but I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them in years.
Let's see. Speaking of Mersons, I've not had any that worth mentioning. They seem pretty broad. That's why I love Merson. I mean, depending on what you're getting. I mean, there's some people that do. I mean, if it's a Merson or is it a Fest beer? Because the Fest beers are they're designed to be more toned down than having the actual Merson, of course. So you don't have as much of the grain or some of that hitting you like you would get from the feel of that style. But I've had decent ones. The one I've had from Rock Hill was okay. But the other one I did the video on that I have from Zero Gravity was actually a really solid one. So, but I haven't had any from Germany. That's what I miss about Cincinnati because when we had Oktoberfest there, we had all the breweries come in from over in Germany because it was so huge. So we'd have like Polliner and we'd have all the other ones that would Iinger, all the other ones that would be there. There'd just be like, you just go and they'd have other stuff besides the Oktoberfest beers. So you would get all kinds of different styles. They'd have Keller beers and all kinds of things. So
Haven't had a ton of them since we went to the Oktoberfest at the German American Club about a month or so ago. And they had the Iinger and some of the other ones on tap, which was really good.
yeah. The runs that the 2E has Hofbräu and I believe Paulaner. Nervous what you use. For me, one, it's not a bad choice between either of those. They're both pretty decent. I actually, if I had to choose one to drink first, I'd probably drink the Hofbräu because I like the Paulaner a lot. So I'd probably have that as the second one. But you can't go wrong either way.
So you would think the Hofbräu is the better one or no? Or you just
I would think Paulaner is the better one for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, the Pauliners, I mean, both of them are pretty solid, that and the Hofbräu. We had the Hofbräu house in Cincinnati when I was there. And
right.
You were able to get a lot of stuff there. I don't know if they have anything in this area. I mean, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, where we were, it was like the first one they had in the States because they actually were tied to the German brewery. And they started expanding to other spots in the country. I'll have to see if we have any of those around. Now, the place that we have here, the Guilford Brewery, their Oktoberfest was pretty good. But they focus on European beer styles. Like, they don't have an American IPA they serve there. They have a British Pale Ale. And they have, like, all the other stuff you'd expect if you were over in the brewery overseas, which is nice. It's refreshing. Because it's something different, you know. I feel like you don't have to force feed IPAs everywhere for people to enjoy beer. There's so many good styles out there, so it's nice having them here where they actually offer that, and they have some pretty delicious food they actually serve there too. So, if you're talking about some comfort type food, they have that as well.
I guess I did have a couple of the Oktoberfests from Our Lady did one. That, you know, the brewery Our Lady. Mm-hmm. We go to, they had one which was really good. It's probably the best one we've done so far. In the 3, maybe 4 years that they've been open, and then we've been going to this other brewery. It's local here lately. It's called Fistful of Hops, which doesn't. They make some pretty good. Fistful of Ale is the name of the Fistful of Ale, and they had an Oktoberfest, which tasted good, but they tried to push it out too fast, and they didn't really carbonate it very well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of flat, but the taste of it's pretty good. Which I think I drank one of those a couple weeks ago on the show.
Gilbert said Hofbräu makes the best Dunkel. I don't know if I had a Dunkel from them when I went there before. I don't think I have, but I love a nice Dunkel as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have either.
But I'm going to crack open my second beer here. And this is actually going to be from the Patriarchy series. I don't know if you were here. I think I've had this before when you were here.
Oh, yeah.
And then the reviews coming out on this one, too, with the Vietnamese style coffee stout. So this is the one, number 24 of the list, kind of like the IPA. IPA number 24 now. The Patriarchy number 24 Vietnamese coffee stout, 8.5% ABV from the Claw Brewing. One of the Baltimore breweries I've had for a number of years before actually moving to Baltimore. So, crack this baby open again.
Have you actually been?
I've not been to the Claw yet. I need to go there. The one that I've been to that you and most people will probably know would be Heavy Seas. I've been to that one.
Yeah. You said that was a small place, right?
Yeah, it was weird. It was like I was expected to be bigger. It's kind of like almost like a warehouse district where it's at. It's not. It's off the main, off a side kind of main road, kind of like a rural thing, kind of like when you came up to where I used to live at, like when you see like stuff out of Florence, Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those like little things off the side of the road there. It was kind of like,
okay.
I was expecting more. I was almost like not as big as when I went to Guinness, but I expected something like that because they have such a good presence across the country, I believe, that I thought it was going to be more to it. Like they don't serve food there. You have to order food in. It's just like this one little tasting room. And then they have behind in the garage, they have like rooms where you can play games, do all kinds of stuff like that. And the brewery's back there. But it's more like not as, I don't want to say patron friendly, but not as comfortable as I thought it would be for people to come really enjoy a good time at the brewery. I think you can have a good time, but it's not like when you go to like Listerman in Cincinnati, or you go to like Streetside, or you go to Braxton. It's kind of like a warm type feeling. Mad Tree, things like that. It really didn't have kind of like that. It was just kind of like, oh, there's a chair, there's a table, blah blah blah.
Almost kind of like a Listerman type, because Listerman's kind of that way, I think.
Yeah, but Listerman has a little bit more when you go up the steps and stuff.
Well,
and they got like the game section and stuff like that, where you can kind of have a little more relaxing.
That does.
I mean, this was just like you felt like you were sitting in the office of a warehouse. You know what I mean? So it's not as of a warm type thing. Now, maybe that's just what they were kind of doing with it. I don't know, but it just didn't feel. And then not having food. They did have a food truck out there, but I think it wasn't open. I think it's only certain days or hours it was open. So I didn't mind though, because I ordered some Wawa in, and once Wawa gets there, it makes everything better. Those of you that know Wawa know what I'm talking about. So yeah,
you would think I could see where you'd be a little disappointed thinking of a brewery that gets distribution like it does.
Yeah,
you would expect more, bigger things out of it, I guess.
Yeah. It was just it's almost like it wasn't as bad as like if you were sitting in like a Quick Lube or some auto shop, but it was almost like that kind of a feel like,
yeah,
this is all there is, like kind of type thing, So
it's like they're like, what else do you want? You're here to drink beer, right? So you got the beer. Do the drinking.
I prefer a Hofbrau, better mouth feel and finish, not as light and dry. All right, well, that's the whole thing. It's all about what your palate is, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Dunkel's are as a dark lager style. It's pretty decent.
Real malty kind of.
Yeah, grainy, bready.
I like Dunkel's.
Yeah. Dark, full, malty lager, like there, what Gilbert said as well. On deck next, Heist Breweries, can you smell what the Bach is cooking?
Nice.
Oh, don't want to rock find out about that one, man. Somebody's going to have to pay a check.
Yeah, bro.
We got all kinds of copyright law right now in the Supreme Court they're looking at what the Bach is cooking. What if it was the chef with the chef's hat on there with the eyebrow up or something? That'd be funny. Or a Bach with an eyebrow drawn on it. What time's the tea time tomorrow, Didi, by the way? 8 o'clock, 7:45?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's at least
8:10.
7:35.
Yeah. I think he was 8. Last week, I think he said it was 8 or whatever, so he was a little bit later. But yeah.
Well, yeah.
But if it's Friday, Didi's golfing. As long as it's not raining, probably. Looks like we're down 31-24 right now. 2:52 left in the third quarter, so.
Well, still hanging in there.
Yeah. Oh, Didi said 11 a.m. It's getting cold in the morning. That's late for you. To clear the calendar, you're going that late.
That sounds like my uncle. He'll never play in the morning because he don't want the dew to get on his shoes.
Yeah.
Dew on his feet, make it wet. He's like, nah, I'll just play. Of course, he's retired, so he's like, I'll play.
Yeah. Of course, that's why he's drinking the Bach now. So, because he's like a little bit later with time to get up. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you mentioned about the dew. We went golfing one time at one of the events, and we couldn't even tee off because the dew was still out in the grass. They're like, we had to hold up like 20, 30 minutes for the sun to come up and everything. Because the dew was out there. It was like for one of the Chamber of Commerce golf outings we were at. I think I've never had that happen before.
Yeah, we've had that happen several times. We used to play in a scramble for my brother's work. Mornings like that, it'd be early tea time, but it was like you almost had to wait for a half hour just for it to kind of dry out a little bit.
Yeah. And Didi said, yeah, that's late. Yeah, that's later than you're used to. By 11, you're back home or on the way back home at least.
Yeah, no kidding.
How long does it take you to shoot a round of 18, Didi? I bet Didi is like probably an hour and a half or something.
No, I mean,
if he doesn't get slowed down.
Right. That's all. That's what depends on how crowded it is, and if you're playing by yourself or playing with 3 other people, and if anybody's in front of you or whatever. I mean, an average round probably 4 hours, probably.
Well, for us, but I'm thinking for Didi, he might.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If he's in a foursome or if he's by himself and people do what they're supposed to do and let him play through, then it probably wouldn't take him no time.
Yeah.
I think that time I was in Gulf Shores and played in the morning by myself. And there was nobody else on the course.
Mm-hmm.
Like at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I played in about, I don't know, it was less than 2 hours. Played 18
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. If you could do it yourself, yeah, for sure.
I think I got back in before the next heat. Anybody else even teed off? And the guy was like, why didn't you play more than one ball? I was like, because my freaking ass is sweating bigger. It wasn't even 9 o'clock yet. I was like, I was already sweltering hot out there.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of it was like in the middle of July and Gulf Shores, and I was like, never again.
Didi says, no one in front, 2.5 hours by myself, 3 hours with my friend. There you go. That's a pretty decent time now.
Yeah, it's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about getting, if you can play with nothing in front of you.
Yeah.
I'd say me and a buddy of mine, when we can play if we don't get stopped all the way and have to wait on anything. Yeah, probably about 3 hours or so is probably.
Yeah, I had a goal to play more golf this year, and I never did get out there. I haven't played, I think, in 3 or 4 years maybe since I played last. So I need to get out there again. It's just I let too much other stuff I get involved in. I never get time. I never cut the time out for myself to go out and enjoy and play golf is what it is.
Right.
It's gonna force it onto my schedule at some point. But we went to a work event, and I think it might be the last time I played. We were at one of the country clubs. And so they had a charity event or whatever where you do different things there. Like you've probably seen like closest to the pin or whatever, like you would do different stuff and donate money so it goes to the hospital or wherever it may be. And it was one of the ones we had to putt to get the team that got like the closest to the hole. You would like win like 4 tickets to come back to the golf course and play or whatever. And so we had to golf. So it was putting and we had to putt. The hole was like over here that they had cut out, but we were like up here, and it was like a weird, like on the side of a hill curve that you had to come down to. Like, so it was kind of like, this is like a carnival sucker type thing, right? And so we're like, yeah, we'll do it. It's all for good cause. We figured we'd give our money away or like that and everything. So I go first over there, and I hit it up there, and it rides it around, and it comes down, and it gets like within 3 inches of going into the hole.
Oh,
and so the other 3 guys, they just all kind of followed the same lineup. We ended up winning it. We couldn't believe we actually won this thing. And it was just like no other team got close like we did there because everybody else was like kind of falling off or not coming up short or like that and everything. But it was like they were pretty smooth on how they actually set that up. But we were able to kind of beat it for that. But then we never did end up going out back to play again. We just went ahead and gave it to somebody else. So, but yeah, golf is fun, as long as you have a good time with it.
Like I said, though, you just have to have the time to do it. Carve out the time to go play.
Cold time of the year, I enjoy the stouts and other dark beers. Well, I drink them all year round. I mean, I don't need the cold. I just love enjoying them and stuff. But this is the prime time for them because just like the Oktoberfest beers, October hits people who are September. People know Oktoberfest beers are coming out. If you enjoy them, and now going into the back end of October into November, December, you have a lot of companies putting out a lot of their stouts with the heavy bites on them because a lot of people have that sense of the winter when they want to enjoy them and everything.
I mean, like I said, I'll drink stouts all year round, but they do hit just a little different when it starts getting cool out for me.
Oh, yeah, just to sit back and relax and enjoy a stout. Like I said, you give it a little kick. Anybody that hasn't done that, take a shot of bourbon, put it into the glass, and then pour your beer on top of it. It gives a little bit of a kick to the stout as well. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce in the house. What says that? How much was the chair? This chair? This chair was, I think, like $150 or something when I got it years ago. I don't even know what they are now. They got that inflation mark up on. Dude, the grocery bills now going to the store.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like spending more and I'm getting less in the cart. It's like
for sure.
When they suckered us on the candy bars back in the day. Like maybe you raise the price on the candy bar, but the candy bar is actually smaller now.
Well, I was gonna say, and the portion sizes of everything's gotten smaller too.
Yeah.
Wait, how does that work?
There was actually some lady that was online. They posted where she called out Kroger because Kroger said something was like 6 ounces or like that. She actually pulled it out and weighed, and it was only like 4 ounces. And she like put it online and got all these views and stuff on it about Kroger was screwing people here.
Wonder if she got anything.
I don't know if she did that. I mean, she went viral. I know she went viral, but I don't know if she got anything.
Well, I know, but I mean, I wonder if like Kroger tried to, make it right with her or anything.
Probably not.
Here's
big as they are. Yeah.
I mean, because she already went viral, so it's like, what difference does it make anyway?
Yeah, there's some chain called Albertsons, and I've heard of them before, but Kroger's actually making a cash offer on them, straight cash, Randy Moss style, straight cash, homie.
No kidding.
And to buy them, so that might go through as early as tomorrow. So
really?
But they're like the biggest grocery store chain now, and where we're at here, we have Harris Teeter, which is actually part of their stores. Although I think Harris Teeter is kind of still something to themselves, but they are part of Kroger, which is interesting.
We have I don't think they go much outside of this area. It's called JC,
mm-hmm.
and it's their off-brand is the Kroger brand. So they're owned by Kroger. Like you use a Kroger Plus card there and everything. So it's a Kroger store, but it's not. They go by JC.
Okay.
So it's kind of our local. We have Kroger's and Myers and stuff like that, but
yeah,
that's kind of our local down the street grocery store here in our town.
Hey, Didi said my best shot last month dropped hitting 4 at 168 out, made par 1 hop and in the hole at 150 carry. What did I talk about shit to the preacher?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the best golf shot that I ever made. Well, actually. Well, it probably was the best. My second best was actually when I got almost a hole-in-one for closest to the pin, where I won a Callaway golf bag during one of the company tournaments one time. Because it ended up coming right towards the hole in the line of the stop, like 4 inches from going in. Like the lady, it was a car there. You got like a 2-year lease if it goes in. And the lady got out and was coming down towards the ball, like with the clipboard and everything. Cause it was dead going in, and it just stopped like about 4 inches short. But we were at one of the courses. It was DeVue. It's up in Covington, Kentucky. And I was playing with my buddy, and it was one of the ones you hit down, and then you had the hole was up around the left side where you had to come up and around, but you had trees. So usually you have to hit it to the right and then pop it up onto the green. Right. I decided to fly the tree to get it to the green. So I pulled out one of the irons out and hit it, and I'm like, that should be on the green. And my buddy was like, you think it's on there? I'm like, it should be. Somebody, I guess, was up on the green. They came around the corner, and they were like, oh, my God, you put it in the hole.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, get out of here. Got up to the green, and it was sitting in the hole there. So the best shot I ever had, which was a 2 on a par 4, so that would have been the eagle, I never saw go in. So
that sucks. Yeah.
so the best shots you make, you may not see. It just happens. So, yeah. But the one I did see was the Callaway golf bag. That was sweet.
That's sweet. I think the closest I've ever been to hole-in-one, I flew it, one hopped and hit the pin, and I think it was within 3 or 4 inches of the hole.
Oh, wow.
Hit and fell back down, but it didn't fall. I was like, damn, why can't it just fall under the hole?
Well, the funny thing
that's the closest I've ever been. I've never been closer than that.
The funny thing with the closest to the pin when I won the golf bag, so the team I was playing with, the guy went ahead of me in front, and I was debating what club to use, and he put his out there, and he was actually about 6 inches from the hole. And I'm like, what did you use to get up there? And I think it was like I forgot what he used. It might have been like a 400. It measured out to me for me to use my 7-wood. Because I had a 7-wood. So I'll use the 7-wood to see what I can actually do. But it was with that. And he was like, you son of a bitch. Like, because it came inside of where his ball was there. But yeah, so that was cool. That was cool.
Had to pay
One
him.
of the coolest things at a golf club that I've had is we actually did one for Oscar. We used to go to Oscar Robertson event at one of my jobs. So for one of the years we went out there, got a chance to meet with Oscar Robertson and was talking to him and stuff. And we actually got autographed Nike bags that he actually did, duffel bags.
Oh, that's cool.
So I actually have that here as well with me.
Oh,
But
nice.
he was real cool, real laid back, sitting there talking. He's puffing his cigar and stuff. So
There you go.
yeah. But one of the best conversations I ever had with a sports star was probably Tony Perez from the Reds. We were at one of the events with the Reds and talking to Tony Perez because he's got like the thick, like Cuban type,
Right.
stuff. And at one point, I think I'm talking like to Scarface or something like that. It was hilarious, but he was such a cool guy and stuff. So, but as a kid, like that, as you know, the Big Red Machine. Like I was a fan of Tony and Pete and Geronimo, and I mean I knew them all. Joe Morgan,
Right.
all the guys
Foster.
that were part of that. Yeah, and like Foster was like, who didn't want flip up sunglasses? It was because George Foster. It's because he had to flip up. Ken Griffey Sr., all those guys. They were just like Johnny Bench. I mean, I had Dave C. What's his name now? I had a glove.
Concepcion?
Yeah, I had a Dave Concepcion baseball glove. That was one of my first baseball gloves as a kid.
Oh yeah,
so,
that was big.
Yeah. So it was cool.
I think he invented that throw from shortstop where it just like skip off the turf, like because it would get there faster, and he would from the whole deep he was just one hop it there. I don't know if he did it. They say he did it on purpose. I don't know if it's just because his arm wasn't good enough. It worked.
That's like when somebody makes a bank shot in basketball and wow, that's what I was aiming for. Like, no, you weren't.
But he would do that. He would do that a lot, though. I do remember that. Like, of course, Old Riverfront Stadium was all AstroTurf. The old AstroTurf might as well have been concrete.
Yeah. When I was a kid, like that Reds team was one of the teams I looked up. Then I was outside Philadelphia. We had the Phillies, and like Bake McBride and Gary Maddox were two of the ones I liked from there as well. Mike Schmidt.
Oh, yeah.
Then Pete Rose came to Philly, so
right,
yeah. But it was cool. But meeting and then the other person that was there was Harold Reynolds, which was pretty cool. I know he got into trouble with the whole baseball thing at one point, but he's back now, of course. But he was pretty cool there.
Even back then, the Phillies were good,
Oh yeah, the Phillies. I mean, it was like the Phillies and the Reds were both kind of like two teams, and the Dodgers back in the '70s. I mean, it was like those were teams that were definitely doing their thing.
I meant the Pirates. The Pirates were good then too.
The Pirates, with Stargell. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, Stargell. That's when they used to rock the pinstripe hats and everything like that. And yeah.
Porter paint hats looked like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dave Parker.
He's liking the box. Box are good. Yeah, I told you, if you get a chance to get up to February, that Bach Fest in Cincinnati is pretty big.
When is that?
It's usually the week before the Cincy Beer Fest in February or March.
Oh, okay, early.
Yeah. Because they have it's all like high ABV box, so you would definitely want a hotel and crash up there.
Right.
But they bring out the goat for the goat parade, and it's like goes from like Friday through Sunday or something, I think.
I'll check it out sometime.
Yeah, the Big O. He's a pretty cool cat. Yeah, Joe Morgan. Yeah. Hardworking team. I like them, and I'm from NYC, right? Yeah, I mean, they were out there doing it. That was probably like that Red Machine was probably the most I knew of players on any team at any time in baseball, I think. And I think back, like to go down a lineup and to know Concepcion and to know Joe Morgan and all those players, Geronimo and all them, it's kind of like, I don't know if I've ever known the lineup more than I knew the Red Machine back. I mean, the Phillies, I had Bob Boone, I had Larry Boa, I had Mike Schmidt, Maddox McBride, but yeah.
I mean, unless you were just an absolute fan, I would say it'd be hard pressed for anybody to name another team that didn't know
I mean, top to bottom, they were solid.
Oh man, yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
like this. Most of the guys in the starting lineup, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like teams. Even you go
Yeah.
back to like the '61 Yankees or like the '60, you know, in those eras when they had Roger Maris and those guys, McMantle and stuff like that. I don't even know if you could name that many players on that. I
Yeah.
couldn't name that many.
I mean, you knew the headlines, but you didn't really like some of the fill-in type players, right?
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
But I feel
Or
like
it
the
would be
bigger
kind
you
of
seen, you talk to anybody that knows anything about baseball at all. It's like whether you're a fan or not, like you know a lot of those guys on that team, you know,
yeah.
which is kind of a cool thing you think about. It's like, of course, they're always mentioned as like one of the top 3 or 4 greatest teams in the history of baseball. So
Yeah, I would say that's definitely the case.
but still, though, to think of that many guys, like I couldn't name. Of course, I'm a Reds fan, but I couldn't name that many guys off of a lot.
I mean,
of
if I even go like back to the '90s, like with the Yankees, you know, Jeter and Bernie Robinson.
yeah,
I mean, you would know Rivera
Nick
coming in.
played for him, I guess. You know,
I mean, Bernie. I said Bernie Williams is what I meant.
Bernie Williams, yeah.
But,
Gerard,
but that was before Rodriguez got there, so that was before
Yeah.
A-Rod. He
Mariano
was in
Rivera.
Texas, yeah.
Where's my brother?
And Posada. I've always liked Posada. He was another one, like the catcher for the Yankees. He was always, he was always just coming to work, yeah. But it's like that Reds team was something special to actually to behold and watch and everything. But it's funny. The other day, I was going to the gym to work out, and they were talking about it was one of the flashback type things, and the Dodgers were on, and it was from '88. And I still remember everything about that because that was like our sophomore year in college. We were actually having people over drinking beers, watching the World Series. And that whole moment is still fresh in my mind with Kirk Gibson. Coming up there, and it's like, this guy can't even run anywhere. If he does get a hit, they're going to throw him out at first, right? It was just like, you talk about a Field of Dreams moment. That was it right there.
And he could barely even run on the base. I remember like the whole...
Yeah.
Like, yes. Yeah.
And I think that's where the lawnmower dance was born too,
Like
by
he
the way.
I think he was just trying to keep his balance. That's what he was doing there.
That was like a Field of Dreams. I mean, that's one of those things like you're thinking you're watching a movie or something like that. That never happens in real life, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't script it better than that.
Yeah,
You wouldn't even think it was. No, that didn't happen. There's no way that actually happened.
That's like one of those things like why we love sports. That's one of those moments that happen. There's like
Right.
the miracle on ice with the hockey team, right? It's just these moments that happen.
Good times.
They were the Steelers of baseball, class act. Yeah, that's a good analogy. The Steelers were kind of back in the 70s, just a workhorse.
You're right.
Lunch pail to work. That was a nasty team. Like football teams growing up, the Steelers in the 70s, a lot of those players I would say I was pretty familiar with, like L.C. Greenwood, Mean Joe Green, Mel Blount.
Right.
Obviously, you had Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, you had Rocky Blyer. But then you would know like Mike Webster. Like who knows the center? Like you would know Mike Webster was that center of that team. Like that's how just they were just in your house. Like you knew who that was. And then you had like Jack Ham with Lambert. It was kind of like so they were just nobody ever looks at the Steelers as being a possible dynasty team either. I mean, they won the 4 Super Bowls in the 70s and could have won possibly more, right? And we're just a battling team. It's kind of like when they talk about like some of the quarterbacks. Like I feel like in some ways Terry Bradshaw doesn't get credit with some of the stuff because when you talk about Montana won 4 Super Bowls and didn't lose any. Well, neither did Bradshaw, but nobody ever brings up Bradshaw's type thing. Now he had some Hall of Famers around him, but like Lynn Swann or John Stallworth and Franco Harris, all these guys. But at the same point, he was out there calling plays and stuff too.
Right.
But that was a hell of a teams they had there. And I feel like if it hadn't been for the Steelers, the Raiders would have been that much more bigger because the Raiders were nasty in the 70s.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't the Steelers or the Raiders, I mean, you had the Dolphins that were doing their thing when they went undefeated in 72, but really for most of the 70s, it came down to the Raiders and the Steelers.
Pretty much.
Those were the two teams in the AFC that had to represent. And then on the NFC, you had the Cowboys, which the Cowboys had trouble winning Super Bowls back then. So,
Yeah, it wasn't till the 90s when
Yeah.
they actually come through to win something.
Well, they won. No, they won before that. They won with Landry finally.
Well, no, they did, but I mean, like
Yeah.
they went on that run in the 90s.
Yeah, and then Well, with the offensive line they had, why wouldn't you, right? I mean,
You're right.
that's the whole argument I have when people think about where Emmitt Smith places at top. Like Emmitt Smith, without a doubt, durable, strong, top-notch running back. But when you got an offensive line that you had with Nate Newton and those guys, Eric Williams.
Hell, you and I, we could have ran for 50 yards behind that line.
As much as he gained, how much do you think Barry Sanders would have gained behind that line? You know, how much would have freaking somebody like Eric Dickerson would have gained? I mean, Eric Dickerson had 2,000 yards with a line nowhere close
I was going to say
Emmett had with the Cowboys.
Think of either of those two behind that line. They'd been pushing 3,000 yards probably.
Oh yeah, I mean, back in the day, you'd have put Curtis Warren behind that, Chris Warren rather, or you could have put the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye behind that. Nobody would have still caught.
Oh yeah,
it would have just been like it'd be like that, like a 6 lineman running with the size he was. So I mean, Bo Jackson. I mean, he may never got in. He may never got touched with a line like that.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely were, Mark. They definitely were. Collect the top baseball cards. We were into baseball. Before basketball, I played. Oh, single A ball. Nice. Love playing baseball. Everybody's been in pitch. The Yankees in the late 70s. Nice.
Who's that?
Didi.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I think back to when I had baseball cards back then, and we traded them. I had a bunch of cards, and I see stuff now in auctions, how much those cards are worth, and I'm just like, son of a bitch. Like, why, why does somebody tell me to hold on to them to keep them or whatever? I'm like,
it's awesome. I played a little college baseball too, Double D. And I played a little bit of third, mostly infield. Played all 4 infield positions actually.
CB in the house. Cheers, CB. Watching the game wild. I've got it on behind me. I'm watching it now, and I see it's 37-33. I was a little disappointed earlier with how we were playing, but we're still in it. So I just feel like we have to get more of an aggressive coach. I mean, Neil Brown's not going to cut it for WVU. Cheers to you as well. Homie, are you in the sauna yet? Sauna time? Start getting cooler weather. Sauna's nice. Nettles, Jackson, Chamberlain, Bucky, Catfish, Mickey River, Davis, Ferrero. Yeah. But you were from New York, so you were big into the team there too. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the Yankees and Dodgers in the World Series 2 or 3 years straight. Ricky, Bob Wells versus Mr. October. Reggie. Yeah. I remember Reggie when Reggie was an Oakland Athletic, I mean, I remember Reggie when Reggie had a candy bar. I don't know if they still make the Reggie candy bar now, but I remember when that happened. Without Swan, Brass stats would be lower. Huh?
Was that when he was with the A's?
When he had the candy bar come out?
Yeah.
I think it was when he went to the Yankees because he got that bigger market in New York.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
But without Swan, here's the thing, like Swan, as much as Swan was like the guy that made the amazing catches, but you go back and you look at that record, and it's more like Stallworth that really was making a lot of the grabs too. Stallworth was big, and that's one of the reasons I think Swan went in before Stallworth to Hall of Fame, and I think that was a comment that he had, like Stallworth should be there. And I forgot who the tight end was. I think they had a decent tight end as well back then, but
wasn't Swan more like the downfield threat?
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah. WVU blocked extra point, ran it back, 37-33. Oh, no, I didn't see they blocked extra point.
Wow.
So that's how they got that. So interesting. Yeah, because it was 24, so they got 2 points off of that. Okay. It was interesting about the WVU game tonight was that people were kind of upset because WVU is a great tailgate in the city for the games or whatever, but for the game tonight, they were only letting you tailgate from 5 o'clock on, and the game was a 7 o'clock kickoff, which is kind of weird. I don't know if they were doing it because it was a night game or they were worried about stuff. Because, I mean, tailgate at WVU is like an experience. You know,
I was
it's
gonna
a
say,
great
it
time.
probably is like, yeah, do they want to limit everybody?
But when we had other games, like when they went, WVU went and played Virginia Tech down there, they didn't have any stipulation like that
I think
a
it's
few weeks
because
ago. And then when we did
Thursday night.
Pittsburgh, it was the same way.
You think it's because it's a Thursday night game, maybe?
I think it's just something with WVU maybe there. I don't know.
Huh.
It might be because Thursday night or whatever. The other thing with WVU, the stadium is across the lot from where the hospital was there too. So maybe there was something what they were trying to, I don't know, for sound purposes or like that and everything. I don't know. It's just kind of weird because WVU, I never heard of them having tailgate and type things like that.
I don't think I've ever heard that before at all, where it's limited to
The tailgates can get kind of wild, so you know.
at least that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Tell somebody, nope, you can't. Not till 5 o'clock. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, you got to think, like, we with WU, it was like, the game was at 1. The first parties, we were cracking beers like at 7 in the morning or whatever, you know. It was like, starting. So, you usually got a good few hours in before kickoff. So, it's kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah. Hell, that's when we used to go to the IU games all the time.
But even if you weren't drinking, like the people that would have like the big RVs, you know, they're out there with the pit going and they got all kinds of stuff happening, where ribs, all kind of stuff. Like you can't do that in 2 hours. You know,
right.
That's like the whole thing, you know, and you know, so it's kind of interesting.
It'll take you that long to set up just to get shit going, you know.
Right. Yeah, these say the words of my mouth with Sanders and that Cowboy offensive line, his records would be neck down. Yeah, I mean, it would have been crazy what he would have done. I mean, even if you put like a Thurman Thomas behind that line that the Cowboys had. Yeah. Which is a crazy thing when I was in college and WVU went to the Sun Bowl the year before we went to the Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame for the championship. And we had to play Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's 2 running backs. Thurman Thomas, Barry Sanders.
Whoa, yeah.
And Barry Sanders was doing the kickoff returns. And he scored us, I think, on one of those too. So it was like, and for the first time ever at the Sun Bowl, because this is how West Virginia plays games, never happened before, we actually had snow. And it never so did the Snow Bowl at the Sun Bowl until we show up and we're playing against Oklahoma State. So it was a fun game, though. They ended up edging us, I think, like 37, 33 or some number around that kind of area. But imagine those two in the backfield you got to try to tackle.
So they would have played. When would they have played at Oklahoma State? What years would that have been?
What do you mean?
When
Sanders, they were at Oklahoma State.
Like in 80.
We were there 87. We were 87 Sun Bowl.
Yeah.
And I think when we were there, Sanders was like a freshman or sophomore, and Thurman was like a junior, I believe, junior or senior.
Yeah.
Because he would leave there within a year or two to go to the Bills, because he was there for all the Bills Super Bowl runs.
So I think just equally on the other side, like for baseball for Oklahoma State, then would have been like Robin Ventura.
Oh yeah,
but they had the longest hitting streak ever.
Yeah,
at any level, I think he was the Oklahoma State guy also, and I think it would have been about the same time if I remember right.
Yeah. What's the stat I saw earlier this week? Well, we know that Judge broke Maris's record, right? 62.
You're right. Yeah.
But they were talking about the number of strikeouts he had. I think it was Judge they were talking about, and he has many strikeouts this season. They said that Tony Gwynn had in the 90s or something. Like Tony Gwynn was just phenomenal when he came up. Like he did not strike out.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was like he'd always put a bat on the ball.
Like if we break down Tony Gwynn's numbers as far as strikeouts, it was ridiculous. And then like Greg Maddux on the other side, for no harder than he threw, like the amount of walks that he had was ridiculous.
Yeah. Like
he didn't hardly walk anybody.
Yeah. Just crazy. Just one of those things out there. It's just like, yeah.
Of course, now I'm kind of down on baseball now just because guys read about home runs or strikeouts. That's all they do. Like they don't. The game's just completely changed for me.
Well, there was somebody that said this year the Judge would have had a higher number if they weren't using like a dead ball in baseball. I don't know if they changed the balls this season, but the ball they were using, there was something like it wasn't as lively as some of the past years, like when you had Bonds or McGuire or Sosa or some of the other players that were smacking them out. But speaking of home runs, you got to give a shout out of one of the players I think that had a fantastic career, never got tarnished or anything like that, that just retired now with them going out in the playoffs. And that's freaking Pujols, who was a machine the whole career he actually had. It was just like
right. Kind of not really talked about enough, I don't think, honestly.
I don't think so either. I mean, he's still in good shape. I mean, I know it's going to be his last thing with the Cardinals. He's retiring, but I'm like, now that both leagues have a DH, why not stay around as a DH if you can still swing the bat?
Right.
You're a 703. I'm just saying.
I will say, I will give Judge credit for this because I don't know if he ended up with the Triple Crown this year or not, but I know he was flirting with the Triple Crown. Of course, he got home runs, and I think he might. I don't know about the RBIs, but his last month of the season where he was chasing the record, he walked a bazillion times. Of course, a lot of those are intentional walks. Still, he could have easily just chased a lot of shitty ass pitches, where he trying to just hit a home run, and he didn't do that.
He didn't.
No, do that. So I gave him credit for that.
The CB had just gotten out of the sauna a little bit ago. Was that Marshall last night? No one was there at all. Empty was amazing. Did Marshall play last night? Or I didn't hear anything, but I know at some point, like around this time of year, they start going to Wednesday night games. But Marshall got off to a good start this year too.
Used to always kind of follow Marshall back in the day when Shanna used to work at UPS. Our driver used to drive from Huntington, West Virginia, every night to pick up packages and turn around and drive back. And he was I think he graduated from Marshall or something. And he always talked about him. So he was always doing that on the Saturday, going to the games and stuff, which was kind of cool. So we always talked about. So I always kind of followed it just to have something, talk to him about on the weekends or whatever.
It was funny because Marshall always wanted to play WVU when I was in school. And we never played them because at the time it was nothing for us to really play them for. If we lost, our season was screwed. And if they won, it helped them, but it didn't help us type thing. And if we beat them, it was like, oh, you're supposed to beat them.
Yeah, because they were Division II then.
Right. And so the year they finally got into,
how many straight Division II titles they win? They won a ton there for a long time.
Yeah, I mean they were one AA, I think. So they were winning some. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, one AA. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like the Appalachian State back then.
Yeah, they were winning.
You didn't want to take them on because look back to Michigan when they took on Appalachian State.
You're right.
That was the reason why. But they got us to play them the 1 year because of the facility that what WVU wanted. And the state said, well, we'll give it to you, but you got to play Marshall, for the whole thing. And that's the year they had Randy Moss there, too. And they almost got us that year. But Randy Moss was just a beast. Get down in the end zone. Oh, we took the lead. I can't believe it. Tony Mathis broke out with touchdown run.
Did they have Pennington there also?
Chad Pennington as well. Yeah, he was throwing to Randy Moss. Yeah. Funny little fact there. Back in West Virginia high school, Randy Moss played basketball, and he played with Jason Williams. And you ever want to see some crazy stuff? Pull up some of the YouTube videos where they played together and people recorded them. Oh, Jason Williams, how he was nasty anyways, a point guard. And you're passing to Randy Moss is skying through the air and stuff. Yeah, they played high school down in it was Rand, West Virginia, which is, I would say it's a seedy area, but it's not the best area to probably be in. So just the 7-Eleven has bars all over the windows. It's like, should I be out here right now?
Don't be out after dark is what you're saying.
Yeah, but Jason Williams and Randy Moss played together, which was awesome.
And then after that was that Leftwich that come in after
Leftwich came in after Pennington, yeah. Leftwich had that game where he became kind of immortalized, he couldn't even really walk. And his team would come back and pick him up and carry him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that. That was pretty cool there.
That was that became a thing where it's just you're immortalized into the Marshall lore now, when they show that video.
Oh, yeah.
It's and he fought it out.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, you're right, CB. I know people down that area, so it has not changed. And but I will tell you one thing about Rand. They had one of the best hot dog places I think I've ever had anywhere. down there. These hot dogs they have in West Virginia. I mean, West Virginia was the first state I ever had where they had coleslaw and hot dogs for one, which was interesting.
Really?
Yeah, they put coleslaw on it, and you have your mustard, ketchup, or onions, however you want to do like that. But they've this place down there they have for the hot dog place. I don't even know what the place is called. It's just like hot dog something. Phenomenal hot dog. Like everybody comes in to visit, they'll go down to Rand and get the hot dogs and bring them back. Hot dogs, and then they have a place called Tudor's Biscuit World. And CB knows what I'm talking about. Tudor's Biscuit World, or like these breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, you talked about that.
These Tudor's biscuits. And the first time I was down there when I was dating Janice, her brother was like, "I'm gonna go to Tudor's. You want anything?" I'm like, "I don't even know what Tudor's is." He comes back with these big old biscuits, where it's like the freaking meat's hanging off. They're like, "What the hell?" Like this is like some Fred Flintstone like breakfast sandwich or whatever. But it was tasty. It was tasty. They'll put the weight on, but it was tasty.
Big old pterodactyl burger, like
yeah. CB knows. He's like, "Oh yeah." And we were driving. Where did we drive through? I think when we drove here, we drove through somewhere and we saw a Tudor's. We didn't stop for it, but it was like, oh, there's a Tudor's right there. Like, yeah.
I just thought I feel like you almost have to like just pull in just because.
Yeah. Oh, the fridge. They said the air from North Charleston and Rand is the most toxic in the country. Really? I did not hear that.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't surprise me because of the chemical plants they have down there and stuff. That, yeah, they have. I think it's Union Carbide was down there, and that used to always. I feel like what was that movie that Julia Roberts did, where she was like the environmental person trying to help?
Oh, yeah, it was based on a true story, I think.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done that down there in Charleston. It probably had the same type of thing, and of course, you had the coal miner stuff there too.
What was that? Oh, Aaron Brockovich.
Aaron Brockovich, yeah. That could have been shot down there in West Virginia.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The CV says, "Yep, yeah." So, but it is quaint. It is nice to kick back and relax. They just put a new brewery down in Charleston. I haven't seen what the name of it is, but someone had told me they had a new brewery down there as well. So. We haven't been back there for years. Most of her family now has moved down to Texas or out in South Carolina. So we don't really have a reason to go back down there as much. Although I want to go back to Morgantown at some point again to see some friends I have there and stuff. And
I had an uncle that he worked for the railroad, so he would move around every so often. And he lived in Georgia. What part of, not Georgia, well, he lived in Georgia too, but in West Virginia. I'm trying to think of what part of West Virginia that was.
Like down in near Charleston, or
I don't know. Isn't there a dog track like?
Yeah, that's actually not far from where CB is. It's a Greyhound track outside of
Huntington. I don't know if it's
Huntington.
still there or not, but it used to be. I remember as a kid, my dad. That's the only time we'd ever go on vacations. Like we'd go visit wherever my uncle stayed because that was my dad's brother. So wherever he was at, that's where we'd go until he moved to Jacksonville. Then we no longer went there anymore. I was like, the best place you probably ever lived. We never even went down there.
Yeah, the track is still there. Now they have like the other gambling like slot machines and stuff like that there. That is CB. What is that town? Because you're near there. It's not Huntington. It's right off of I-64 before you get to Huntington. I know what it is. It's Cross Lanes. Cross Lanes is where the Greyhound track is. Now he may have been in a town next to Cross Lanes, but that's where the Greyhound track is.
Isn't that pretty close to the state line?
Yeah, I mean, it's only like 30 minutes in from the state line of Kentucky. Yeah, Cross Lanes, 10 mile east. Never go there. Can't smoke.
I wish I remember what town he lived in. I just remember.
But he had to be close to that.
Probably. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't think he was too far from there, honestly.
Yeah.
He lived in Chattanooga for a while, and he lived in Wildwood. I think it was Wildwood, Georgia, and he lived in West Virginia, and lived in several different places. And then he moved to Jacksonville, where he's retired at now. And did go there. He's been in Jacksonville for a while now, but
it's funny when we used to come from the house I used to have in Kentucky, and we drive down to West Virginia. We take double A highway down to Grayson, and then we jump on 64 to go into West Virginia. And for years, our nephew, who's He's in his 20s now. When he was younger, we would go down there and pick him up, and he'd come to Kentucky for the summer with us. And we used to always go down there. We come back, and he was like, we stop and like get something to eat or whatever. There was always like this Shoney's that was like right off of there before you hit Double A Highway.
Oh yeah.
And he just loved that place. Like we would go there, and he'd be like, "We're gonna stop at this Shoney's, Uncle Rod." Like, are you hungry? Like, yeah. Like it just became a thing. And we would stop, and they had this freaking Shoney's breakfast lunch bar or whatever like that and everything, which is
no buffet.
Kind of funny now when you think back on the stuff you would do, just family type shit. You know, it was like
Shoney's.
Yeah.
We used to have a Shoney's around here. They ain't been open for a long time, but
yeah, that one was always going. It was always like it was right there off the highway, and food was pretty decent. It was just like it was like the Shoney's, and there was like a car dealership. I think there was like the other way was a McDonald's or a Dairy Queen, and the A&W, Long John Silver's together type situation. Which you went there one time, or whatever, but yeah. And the KFC something. It was like, you know, but I feel like the best highway placement place to ever stop and eat is probably Cracker Barrel. Like they have a thing locked down where they just know to put themselves next to a highway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's just like
there's one probably a mile and a half from our house, which is right off the exit of a highway.
Yeah, it's like I dare someone to find one that's not next to a highway. I don't think they exist. They're always like next to a highway.
I mean, it's always a safe place. To me, I always think it's hit and miss. Like, sometimes you go there and all the food tastes the same. Like, it's all bland tasting. Yeah. And sometimes you go and it's, like, really good.
Yeah, depending where you're at. Like, if you go to a Cracker Barrel that might be in Tennessee versus somewhere in the middle of Ohio, you can have different flavor because of different seasoning that might be in play.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, but that's true, yeah.
And then Cracker Barrel added alcohol, which was kind of still blows my mind. But we did go to Cracker Barrel. When we made the move here, we stopped somewhere at a Cracker Barrel, and they actually did have the alcohol there. So it was like she had a couple mimosas with our breakfast type thing, and I didn't actually get anything to drink there. But they had some beers, or you could do mimosa, or you could do like I think wine. And it was just like felt weird, like in a Cracker Barrel, being able to.
I feel like
to drink. That's like where you take grandma. Like you're not gonna do their sauce with grandma sitting with you.
I feel like it's one of those things you should just because like. They serve alcohol. I don't really want one, but I gotta get one. Just say you've been there, done that. You know what I mean? Like,
and they give you a pretty good, decent mimosa too, though. Like decent size of the little champagne split or whatever for the mimosa. It was like $7. Like that was a good price. It was like that's better than some of the bars you would get.
I haven't been to a Cracker Barrel here close in a long time. I don't know if ours here serves alcohol or not. Honestly.
Yeah. Imagine, we're getting happy hour together. Where are we going? We're going to Cracker Barrel.
You're right. What?
Cracker Barrel for happy hour. I love that place.
It's gravy and a mimosa.
Get yourself some cornbread muffins and a beer.
Cornbread, yeah. Their cornbread is good, though. That's what I get every time I go is like cornbread. When biscuits or cornbread?
Yeah, cornbread.
Yeah. Is that a serious question? You know, the one thing I do hate about going there, you know, they serve like the little square things of butter or whatever in the packaged containers. Yeah. It's always like frozen. Like you can't ever dig none. Like you can't spread that anywhere. Like,
oh yeah, because it's not sitting out long enough. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like who serves such cold butter? You can't even spread it on anything you get.
Yeah, that drives Denise crazy. You always like to have the butter sit out for a bit. You know.
I get it.
Yeah.
Put it between my legs.
Gotta warm it up.
That's right.
TV said when they banned smoking pot, where I live, remove the ban or casinos, fill up casino cross lanes, emptied out. Fun but true. Yeah, well, for people like to smoke, I can see that. Even the casinos we had in Indiana, people like to smoke, and that's the ones they came to. Oh, a big interception inside the red zone by the West Virginia Mountaineers to end the drive. We might actually pull this one out tonight.
Nice.
Maybe the trick is me not to watch but not watch that. Like I don't care, but I do care.
He'll win. Brother, he's like, if I have to watch, it'll do a lot better than if I actually watch.
Right. But you know what? Tomorrow is the Gold Blue game for basketball, which means we're right around the corner from basketball season starting. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
We had our midnight, well, not Midnight Madness anymore, but last Friday they had the Midnight Madness.
Yeah, I wonder if ours is the Midnight Madness tomorrow night then. I just know
it wasn't at midnight because my brother and his daughter went to it last week. They had some kind of rap artist.
Oh, really?
perform afterwards too, which I never heard of, but apparently he's a big time rap performer or whatever. But so they had like the men's and women's, 3-point contest and drills and little little scrimmage and stuff like that. So
Well, I wonder.
I used to do it at midnight because that was always when the kickoff for the actual practice could start, was that next day, But now it's like
Right.
a difference now.
Well, we actually play at 7:00 tomorrow for the Gold Blue debut. But when does the league kick off? Because I'm looking here and I see on the 28th we play Bowling Green, so I guess maybe that's our tip off. Because that would be in October. I mean, I got to think that would be an exhibition game.
I want to say our first game is like November 2nd or maybe October 25th or something like that. I don't know. It's either like at the very end of October or the 1st of November.
I spoke too soon. Baylor just picked off West Virginia inside the 30.
Don't watch no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the regular season because we play Pitt on November 11th. So backyard brawl basketball style. Well, I'm thinking Huggins is going to have a decent.
Right. I'm thinking like the first part of November is probably when the actual season starts for basketball.
Jerry Steele's got himself a sack, though. Then we're going to shut this down. I think Huggins got a good squad that'll come in this year, so hopefully we'll make a nice run again. I feel like Huggins is like right there. Like
he's always going to be competitive anyway, no matter what.
Well, I mean, he had a team that we had at West Virginia, and he had a team at UC that both were Final Four that injuries killed them. We lost Butler, they lost Martin, and I think those were the teams that he could have won a title with.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, when those happened, yeah. But I'm hoping he'll get it. Just like, it took Boeheim 26 years, 26 seasons to get his. So
true. That's true.
But, one thing's for sure, it's good to see him happy being back there at WVU. Cracker Barrel is the stickies of the stickies. The damn Tabasco sauce always sticky. Wipe the damn thing. I don't know if I've had a sticky Tabasco at Cracker Barrel before, but I will tell you with Cracker Barrel, I don't know why I always pick it up. I don't know if you guys pick it up when you go there or whatever, but I always do the damn game on the table with the triangle, and you got to jump over the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I always like it.
I seen the thing on TikTok the other day that how to win on that every single time. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Cracker Barrel if you're not doing that game, right?
Right. I don't need to feel that dumb. I just want to go eat some breakfast or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, CB, I saw that there too. It's this is the life of a WVU fan, so it's tough. It's tough. But you opened another beer. What other beer ought to go for the field goal now? So it might be going to overtime if he makes this, score. And he got it. So now we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, I cracked one open a little bit.
What did you open up?
The odd side.
Ooh, Imperial Mayan. Burleys.
It's one I picked up in Michigan. I think this is the last one I have. This one's where'd it go? 11%, I believe. Yeah, 11%. So I had it before, but it's pretty good.
Nice.
Get a little
Well,
bit of cinnamon kind of spiciness to it.
Mayan might be the theme of the week because I just did a review that I uploaded. Was It's Not Yours, It's Mayan from Spellbound Brewing.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
When you read that name off earlier, I was thinking you just drank one that had a pretty cool name to it.
Yeah. And that one had ancho chilies in it, which was pretty nice on a little bit of a peppery type feel in the back
I
end.
think that might be what. Let's see. Inspired by Mexican hot chocolate, it is carefully blended with Dutch chocolate, coffee, cinnamon, nutmeg, and habaneros.
Oh, you get the habanero in that one. Okay.
Yeah. It says, which will leave you with the perfect balance of chocolate and heat. So that's a little bit of the spice you get. It's not overpowering, but it's Let you know it's got a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm here.
Just enough. I like it.
I'm in the house.
Say again.
Here. It's like, yeah, it's like it's here. I'm in the house.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Don't forget about me.
I said I should have taken those tees and used them on the golf course. You could have taken the tees and used them on the golf course there. But then how could people play the game, Didi? You can't steal from Cracker Barrel.
That's true.
Oh, kick return. Nope, get them down.
I wonder though if you actually go there now since COVID, if they even have that game anymore.
Last time I went, it was still there. I mean,
did it? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know how many people played or anything, but yeah. I mean, still got the checkers out front and stuff too, so you can still got the other stuff. But I feel like what you pay for and what you get at Cracker Barrel is pretty decent price point.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good go-to. I mean, it's few and far between when I've gone there and been like, yeah, this is awful. Like it's usually fairly decent.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've actually been to one, honestly, though.
Well, it's like if you're traveling and you're like trying to find somewhere to eat, like you said earlier, you see a Cracker Barrel, you already know what you're going to get. Like it pretty much doesn't really change too much unless it's north versus south, maybe seasonal like here or there on stuff like.
But it's all pretty much the same.
It's pretty much all the same. Like, you know how they're going to cook like the ham steak or the pork chops or whatever you want to get there, the chicken.
Fish.
Yeah.
Dumpling. Oh, we gotta get the dumpling when you go. Is there any one like particular thing you get when you go there though?
It depends if it's morning or lunch. But like if it's morning, I love getting like the ham, like ham and eggs or something like that, and everything. And the pancakes. The pancakes are always solid. Well, last time I think I went, they had like a big breakfast platter where you got like eggs and like a couple different types of meats or something, I believe, and some other stuff. So
right.
I'm all about the meats.
Bacon,
I'm like, bring it all. Yeah. Bring it this right here. Bring me this one with all the.
That's what I want.
I'm like Arby's. We have the meats.
We got the meats. We get the meats or whatever they say. All the meats.
How many bacon strips you get? 2? That's not enough. Give me 3 extra. Oh shit! Look at Mathis. He's running it out. He might actually pull it out. Nice little run there. I would love to see Donaldson get back at some point, but he was actually in good spirits last I heard. He was a running back that got hurt a few weeks ago. He's going to be a beast. He's a true freshman.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
He got hurt in the game against it was 2 weeks ago, I guess. It was after Virginia Tech. So I forgot who we lost to there. But one of the plays, they had to bring a stretcher out and put him in a whole brace type thing, and he had to go to the hospital and all that kind of stuff. But he was in good spirits afterwards and everything. So it's the nature of football, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to crack open one more beer here, and this is going to be the return of the classic. Because I'm milking these out. I think I'm going to do the review on this one too, just because they just brought it back and it's not something they offer every year. But this is going to be from Great Lakes, and it's the Blackout Stout here.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got one left to do the review on, I guess, but always a nice one. If you have Great Lakes, definitely recommend.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look for that one. That usually sells out pretty quick when it does hit the shelves, though. It seems.
Yeah, I mean, if you see it, you got to actually get it now. So
you know, since the liquor store I used to go to all the time, since he sold and the people that bought it now, like my beer distribution or not the beers you can buy here, kind of sucks, honestly now.
Because I mean,
I'm not sure. Took it over. I'm not sure what the deal is. Like, I don't know if he's got the relationships that the previous owner had, or I don't. Like, every now and again, he gets a good shipment in, but then he wants to charge an arm and a leg for it. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
He may be using a different beer buyer and distribution.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility because he has like 8 liquor stores or something that he's bought. He's like some Indian guy.
Yeah, they buy a lot there. Yeah,
it's super nice, but he's buying up all the liquor stores around. I was like, it's all the same. Like every place you go into now, it's like they have different names because he keeps the names of the liquor stores that he takes over.
Yes,
they're all the same anymore. It's like I don't know. Like
it was like
not good anymore.
Where I was at Independence, we had the one family. They owned like 3 or 4 of them, and it was all the same store pretty much. It's just different people worked at different ones. So,
yeah, right. Yeah. Which I'm sure works in his favor because he buys in a bulk. I'm sure he probably gets a better rate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it probably works out for him, but he's not selling it at a better rate. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I see that too, CB. And I mean, if I was Baylor, I would let him score to try to get the ball back and try to go out and get a touchdown. But
so what is the score?
It's 40-40 right now, 3rd and goal for West Virginia. They're in field goal range. They're right there at the 3-yard line. 40 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Oh, why did you go outside to the left? You're going to make a tougher angle for the kicker. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm almost with you.
The play calling that they have for the Mountaineers is so frustrating. It's like run up the middle. If you don't make it, you don't make it. But give your kicker the shot in the middle. When you're inside the 5 and you go to the left or right, it makes a tough angle for the kicker. Now, our kicker's been great all season, but you're not helping them out.
Well, I think the college line is a little bit wider than the NFL.
I think it is too, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the NFL, like the dotted lines are like right in line with the goalposts, I believe.
Yeah.
Like the college line is, I don't know what the distance is, but I feel like it's a lot wider.
Yeah, I agree, CB. The coaching is so. I mean, I like the character of Neil Brown, but he's above his head coaching on the top level like this. And now that Jimbo said he was interested about maybe coming back to WVU and coaching, I feel like that's opened up where it's like they're going to try to move Neil out. I would love to get Jimbo Fisher in and coach.
Jimbo has always wanted to go back.
Yeah, he said he would love to go back to. He didn't say he would love. He said he would definitely be open to going back.
Would be open
because he has ties back there from Bowden when Bowden used to be there before he went to Florida State. So
opens the door then.
Yeah, and fellas, always a pleasure. You too, DD. Catch up with you soon. Better have a low and take it easy. Asheville, just saying, weather is cool. Yeah, I'll definitely want to get down to Asheville. So that is definitely on the radar as well.
Asheville is a cool place for sure.
Field goal is good, 43-40 with 33 seconds left. So
we'll do double D, hit them straight tomorrow. Don't lose too many.
Yeah. Straight in the fairway, and as they say, drive for show, but putt for dough. Yeah. He's got the life, doesn't he? DD's just out there just living life.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like it's 11 o'clock teeing off, we'll be like, damn, it's almost lunchtime. I wish I would fucking time to go home. Time to go home.
Pulls into the clubhouse at the turn.
Yeah.
Same sandwich as usual, sir? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you like the beers also? Why, yes. Why not?
Is he kind of like a tuna on rye kind of guy, or is he maybe like a hot dog or burger type fella? I said, well, dude, yeah. What do you get at the turn, Didi? What is your sandwich choice? Or maybe you're just a candy bar guy. Just give me a candy bar. Keep the Snickers. Keep the energy up.
I feel like there's something about golf course hot dogs, though, and that steamer or whatever it is they use. Like, there's something about that golf course hot dog. Like, it might be the worst hot dog ever that you would never, like a 25-cent hot dog you buy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
But there's like, throw it on that little turner or whatever. Like, it's always in the wrapped up buns, you know, in the little foil. It's like, so good.
Now, there's some places I've been to, some of the course has a really good chicken salad. But you don't want to get a chicken salad at the turn. You want to wait to the 19th hole for that one.
You're right.
It gets a little messy and it's all over the place. So you wouldn't be able to sit back and enjoy that, having like a nice frosted beverage or something.
Gotta be able to tuck in the elbows down.
Right. There's food for the turn and there's food for after. You got to know what you're doing out there. Yeah. Maybe one day they'll have a fried bologna sandwich. I wonder if any golf club has a fried bologna sandwich. Because you can do that on the go. You can get that at the turn.
If
Fried
they,
bologna is not gonna be messy.
if they don't, they should.
If you could do a hot dog, you could do a fried bologna, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
How come there's no sandwich cart in the golf course? They always come around the beer cart, which I'm not opposed to, but you would think they'd have some, and they have like chips or pretzel, but there should be a sandwich cart that comes around too.
Right. Yeah, like a hot cart or something.
Yeah.
Hell, we don't even hardly have any beer carts that come around a lot of places here.
So are you are you a salad kind of guy? Like are you a potato salad or macaroni salad?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. Oh, it's
Coleslaw?
It depends. No, I'm not a coleslaw
Not a
kind of guy
coleslaw
either.
All right.
I don't. It depends on the potato salad.
Well, it depends who made it. So who made the potato salad? That's always a question at the picnic. Like,
Yeah.
you can't eat anybody's potato salad. Like
My mom is notorious for potato salad. Everybody's like, "Oh, you make the best potato salad."
yeah.
But I'm not. Which most of those have like raw onions in them. Which I'm not very big on raw onion.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'll eat them all day long, cooked or whatever. They're fine. I just don't like the. I don't
So
know.
if you get a hot dog, you don't like raw onions on it? You like,
Yeah, no.
but if they did a fried onions, be okay with it.
Yeah. No, I like the fried. Well, yeah, if they're fried onions or something. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what I was gonna say. Like earlier, we were talking about the Oktoberfest stuff. We went to the other brewery that we go to, Fistful of Ales. They were having their Oktoberfest. They had a bratwurst,
Yeah.
cream cheese on it with some kind of like pepper jelly or something.
Ooh.
A
That's
top,
interesting.
yeah, fried onions, like the
Okay.
onion crisps or whatever you call them. Man, I think it's freaking like it sounds so simple, but damn, it was good.
That's like something I would see like on Diner Driving in Dives or whatever when I watch that on
Yeah.
Fridays.
Like,
Yeah.
Of course, we had it. We had it last week or a couple weeks ago for the for our monthly beer thing that we joined. And I was talking about it a couple weeks ago, and that's what they served. And I was like, "This is pretty good." Other than because they were trying to serve so many at once, it wasn't very hot, but it was still pretty damn good. Shannon went like 3 more times afterwards. Is like, I gotta get that bratwurst. I was like, really? I didn't think she even liked bratwurst that much. She's like, oh, it was so good. I was like, cream cheese and all that stuff. But it was good. I don't like the fried onions or whatever on it. Yeah, it was good.
Well, it sounds pretty tasty too. Yeah.
So next time we go to the brewery, I'm gonna have to ask them because they discontinued it now that they're done with their Oktoberfest or whatever. So I'm gonna have to ask them, like, what kind of jelly did y'all use? I'll make that at home. I'll do it myself.
Have you had pepper jelly before? I mean, outside of that, like, have you ever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin
I've had.
up last Thanksgiving, and it was someplace low. So he's the one that worked at IU up in Bloomington. So he lives in Bloomington. But they went to some kind of I don't remember what it was, but they went someplace they did like a canned jelly, and they did like a jalapeno pepper type jelly. And you pour that over cream cheese and dip it with like some wheat thins or something. Man, you talk about good. I think that was good. I like the sweet and the heat and the creaminess of it. It was really good.
Yeah. One of the most interesting things. Oh, we got the win, 43-40. Wow.
Nice. It's a big win there.
Well, Baylor's 3-3, and we're 3-3 now, but it's our first win this year in the conference. But they're like 0-6 against us with that coach.
Oh, really?
Neil Brown, at least Neil Brown's owning somebody in the league. I had a place out of Tennessee years ago send me craft beer jelly, and that was interesting.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
Yeah, those were interesting. So CB says later, guys, and fun. Definitely, homie, get some rest, and thanks for hanging in there. Me with WVU, kind of on pins and needles to see what would happen. So now they're singing Country Roads, Country Roads, take me home. It's all part of tradition at WVU.
Those jellies you had were pretty good though, weren't they?
Yeah, they were pretty decent, and they sent me like 4 of them. One was like an IPA jelly, one was a stout jelly. forgot what the other two were, but I think one might have been a saison. That was really good too. So they were all pretty solid. And
Interesting. Yeah,
I tried them on different things with toast and different, things that I would use jelly for. So, well, back when I used to cook more, like I would make like a glaze and I would use jelly for that. So I think I may have used a couple of them for that too, which was pretty decent.
nice.
Yeah.
I thought about trying to make like some kind of a hot pepper jelly of some sort. But
Yeah.
so now you can buy like what was that? Gelatin or something to make the jelly part of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually tried to make any of it.
I don't think I've never tried to make a jelly, but I've made like glazes before where I use jelly and add other stuff into it.
Oh
And
yeah,
cook it down and put it over it's like meat or something like that and everything.
I use like a orange marmalade to do like orange.
I've done that. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. It's like it's kind of the same. Which I don't really know what the difference is, like marmalade and a jelly or a jam or whatever.
Well, I know with marmalade, usually, from what I've seen, like you have pieces of the fruit in there usually.
That's what I was gonna say, just because it has.
Yeah.
Like
where jelly is maybe in jam, it might be more extracted from the
more
fruit,
refined or whatever. Yeah. Which that's probably true. That's what I was gonna say. I was thinking, I think marmalade had more like the pieces in it.
See, you should do it. You should do a cooking YouTube channel. I'm telling you.
I know you said no. Shit, stuff's so expensive. I'm not sure if it'd be worth doing.
Yeah. You got the grill and all kind of stuff. You can do all kinds of stuff there.
I know. I'm too lazy though.
I'll make a glaze and put it on wings and put the wings in the air fryer. Those are good. Yeah.
I do air fry a lot of wings now.
Speaking of grilling, I need to catch up. Rick was here last week. We talked a little bit there, but Rick from his channel that does the barbecue, we're going to be doing a video together where we're going to do a live stream talking about beers and pairing up with barbecue food and stuff. So that'll be pretty cool. Yeah. So
he lives. Does he live in Texas? Is that
he's in Texas now. Yeah. So if I ever get back down there again, I think he might be more down toward the Houston area. So her parents are in Dallas, so that's like north. But
okay,
I have to double check with him to see. But I would love to connect with him down there. He's doing some good stuff. He was in Mexico for a while doing some of the stuff. But he came back to Texas, and he does some great stuff there on his channel.
A little Southwest Tex-Mex thing.
Yeah. Because I mean, with like barbecue and spicy foods, like IPAs make nice little matchups for stuff too.
Oh yeah, so
it kind of enhances the food that you're actually enjoying. So they play well off each other. Speaking of barbecue, I haven't had barbecue in a while. I'd like to get some at some point here.
Well, see, I did some. I smoked some chicken legs.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. So I was off Friday. Monday we're off for vacation, or not vacation, but for Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Closed. And I took Tuesday off. So I was off Friday, Monday, and Tuesday.
You sound like me.
I know. Right, work schedule right there. But they were actually 2 days, so I took off Friday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
But they were days I was supposed to have off during Labor Day. Since now the transition taking over, M&T Bank took us over, so there was a transition period, and they were like, well, we may have to work the weekend. I was like, well, if we have to work the weekend, I don't want to take those. I was taking that Thursday and Friday off for Labor Day. The weekend. I was like, well, ain't no point in taking those 2 days off. I have to come in either Saturday or Sunday, so I just took it last week instead, so.
It'd be kind of cool if M&T, because they're out of Baltimore, they bring you up there for some stuff too. Yeah.
Well, they post like stuff on their website all the time, or on our website at work, like where they give raffle away tickets for the Ravens games and stuff.
Yeah.
All the time. So they had a giveaway, I think, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when they played Buffalo? I think it was.
Yeah. They played Cincinnati last Sunday night. They played
Yeah.
now.
So it must have been 2 weeks ago. So I think it's just for the home games. I think that was at home or in Baltimore. So
Yeah, it was funny. My old team played my new team as far as cities go, and I thought Cincinnati was going to pull it out there, but then gave too much time for Lamar to come back down the field.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and if the Colts don't pony up all the money they want that Lamar wants to go get him, like they should definitely just go get him.
Go get him, yeah. Cheers, Mark. Great having you hang out, my friend.
See you, Mark. They need a quarterback in the worst ways.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have these 35-year-old washed-up quarterbacks taking over thinking they're going to do something.
Yeah, because you got Matty Ice there now, right? Matty Ice is definitely like he's like Matty Slush now.
He can't run. He can't do anything.
Matty Ice is thawed out.
Yes, he's definitely thawed out for sure. Just ever since Luck up and retired, they haven't been worth.
They've been in a state of flux. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I caught him off guard, I know, so it was kind of like, what do we do, kind of thing.
Yeah, and they keep trying to just Band-Aid to fix. So they had Phillip Rivers a couple of years ago. Then last year did Carson Wentz. That didn't work.
Well, you thought they would have tried to draft somebody out of college or something.
Well, they have. They've drafted a 3rd-round pick and a 6th-round pick in the last couple of years, and 6th-round pick's no longer with them.
Well, they could have got
the 3rd-round pick, and I think the 6th-round pick is still with them. So they're like, why not give him a chance? You know, and what do you got to lose at this point?
And they could have got Cap. He was out there, so.
It's true. Everybody wants to blackball him.
Just saying, you know.
Yeah.
And we know the owner of the Colts has his own personal issues. So if he gets a second chance, you think you want to give it to somebody else? I remember seeing that. I remember seeing the advertising with him on there about the addiction. It was him and some other people. He was on an ad or whatever they did, like after all that stuff came out about the situation he had there about being addicted and stuff like that. But it was like one of the therapy type things to get help or assistance. And he was on there. Yeah.
I mean, how old is Kaepernick got to be now, though?
Well, he's like 32 or something, probably, I think.
Yeah, which is probably not terrible.
I mean, what's Matty Ice? Matty Ice like 34, 35.
He's 35 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
But you got to think about Kaepernick's not been in the game he's never been hit for the last 6 years, so.
Yeah, but he still stays in shape. I mean, I'm thinking like with a lot of playbooks, it's not that much to adjust to as a quarterback. I mean, different system, but they do a lot of commonalities. Yeah,
it works in his favor, even though he's like 32 years old, but he's probably in like a 26-year-old body or something. You know, because he's not taking that hit and pressure.
Yeah,
the bumps and bruises for all those years, like these guys have. Like, yeah, Matt Ryan's like, yeah, okay, it's a good. There's a reason like the terrible Falcons are getting rid of this guy.
Yeah,
they're like.
I feel like if the Cowboys can find Cooper Rush, then everybody's going to find somebody.
Right. Like 4-0, never even heard of the guy before. Like, okay, so now is Dak Prescott going to be out of the time?
Yeah.
I don't know when he comes back. Like, how do you take him out of the lineup at this point? He hasn't lost you.
It's like Dak might have got Drew Bledsoe.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's like, okay. Drew Bledsoe.
It's like, Craig, how you losing your job on your day off?
You got fired on your day off.
When Dak's home watching ESPN across the ticker reads Dallas cuts Dak Prescott.
Got fired on my day off.
Yeah.
Or you see Dak hired at ESPN, you're like, what? Wait a minute.
Dak sitting on the step with Chris Tucker.
And Debo coming down the street with the gold chains.
That's my Cowboy sticker now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That'd be a classic picture right there. That'd be great.
Yeah, I bet he's trying to get back now. Then he's probably starting to think about like, this Cooper guy ain't gonna lose no games. I'm in trouble, you know.
Yeah, he's like, sucks to lose your job to an injury.
You know, I made to come up with a meme with Dak and put his head on like an Ice Cube picture with him and Chris Tucker there.
Being Smokey sitting on the porch, and here comes Debo on his bike down the street.
Put Jerry Jones on the Debo picture.
Yeah, there you go. That would be great. Oh, that'd be great right there, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
That would be awesome.
Like, dude, you got fired by a guy. Was Cooper even drafted?
Jerry Jones like, no, he's my grandson. I was just giving him a job just because of his family. He needed some work.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I saw the one thing with, I think it's Cooper Manning's kid who just broke the high school records for Peyton and Eli.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. What is it?
I can't remember his name, but it's another Manning on the way up, it seems.
Yeah, well, he signed with is it Texas or something, I think it was.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Next year, I think it is. Arch Manning.
Because Texas is going to be SEC, right? So.
Yeah, Arch Manning is his name.
Texas going ACC. I'm like, yeah, you really. Ooh, yeah. We'll see how that goes. You're not showing this year like you wouldn't be in that area.
I think that's where he's going is to Texas, but his name is Arch Manning.
I think it is Texas. I think you're right there, but
I was thinking it's like it's part of his grandpa's name. I'd assume. I guess is it Peyton's? Or is it their?
Well, Archie Man is the dad.
Right.
Or the grandfather for Peyton and Eli.
Oh, it's there.
Wait a minute, Archie is Archie there? No, Archie's dad of Peyton and Eli. So yeah, so it's the grandson of Archie.
It's a grandson, but I think his name is Arch Manning.
Arch Manning, yeah.
Which is like part of Archie, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the other brother Cooper is the only one that really didn't play for. I don't know if he didn't play or so he got injured or something happened with Cooper. I think, but because he wasn't in the league, but Cooper does like I don't know if he's like an attorney or does some other stuff, but. I think at one point he was playing, but I think it was an injury or something that he's had you to stop playing football.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah. But it's a talented family. I mean,
no, for sure.
They definitely got the genes for quarterback.
No, right. Yeah, I mean, shit. Archie, Peyton.
And Peyton got that second Super Bowl title with Denver. So I'm sure that made him feel a lot easier sitting across from Eli at Thanksgiving.
You're right.
When Eli had won over him. But it's like, if I'm Eli, I'm like, but did you really do anything for the Broncos? I've seen your passes. They weren't really that great. Like, you were kind of just there. Your job was not to screw up, and that's what you did.
You're right.
Yeah.
What job?
Both of my Super Bowls, I had immaculate catches that are still shown to this day.
True.
Yeah, but I would say Peyton's more of a sales side person, funny person, like the Saturday Night Live. That Saturday Night Live skit he did with United Way Kids was one of the funniest ones. Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah. Eli tries, but he's not as funny as Peyton. I think Peyton's funnier. Yeah. And the basketball one that Peyton did was pretty funny.
Peyton, it comes natural to him for sure.
Mm. It's all the stuff in the big head, I guess he has. So yeah. But this Blackout Stout, definitely recommend checking it out. 50 IBU. This is 9.9% ABV. I'm glad they brought it back. And this one is actually good. Like what they put on here, they want you to drink it before it's 7:15 to 23 on this label, but you could probably hold it longer, but it's
I would say, yeah.
It's pretty good.
What'd you say, 9%?
9.9.
9.9, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting right in the range where, you can keep that one for...
Keep that for a little bit of time.
Years for sure.
But it's smooth. Great Lakes does some great jobs, great stuff, so...
Yeah, I don't know if we actually get any of those here anymore or not.
I know Big Daddy was here last week, and he was happy because he got not Frosty because that just came back out. So he was able to get that. That's a great Imperial Red Ale from them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But a good, nice feel of the beers tonight. And appreciate everybody hanging out. Probably going to wrap it up here. We're like almost 11. So anything else that you wanted to add for tonight?
No, it's good to be back.
Yeah. It's good to have you back.
Sorry, I missed that last week with all the All-Star cast coming.
Yeah. We'll have the All-Stars back again at some point. But yeah. It takes a lot to fill you when you're not here.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay.
Pick up.
I'll take
Yeah.
Double D,
yeah. You cast a very big shadow. So, yeah. With that being said, we'll go ahead and get wrapped up here. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. And definitely appreciate all you guys. And we'll be back next week with another show, of course. And hopefully you guys will be able to join us then. Until that time, drink beer, live happily. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.